In Capital News tonight, President Magufuli directs appointed leaders to work or he will rescind their appointments. DCI arrests Nandi Governor Stephen Sang over tree farm destruction. Prime Minister Majaliwa launches Umiseta competition in Mtwara. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. The President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, has directed leaders he appointed to work so as to meet the needs of the people, as the public needs development, and if they fail to do their job, he will not hesitate to rescind their appointment. President Magufuli said this at State House in Dar es Salaam when swearing in leaders he appointed on Saturday, adding that one of the reasons of removing some of the leaders is after seeing that they were not working at the level he required.
Outcome. Tutaambizana maneno mazuri lakini maneno mazuri hayasaidii.
All that Tanzanians are eager for is to see positive impacts, and as the government, those are our expectations too. My responsibility is to appoint people who will fulfill Tanzanians' desires. And when I do the opposite, it's nothing personal, but I didn't see you doing justice to Tanzanians. I commend Honorable Joseph Kakunda for coming here today. This shows his political maturity. It is important to know that these jobs are temporary. There is no permanent job here. Challenges faced by the business community could have been addressed by the responsible minister, secretaries, and even prime minister. No one stopped them from hearing out these people, but nobody bothered. Honorable President, under your leadership, we have proved to the world that Tanzania is a friend to investors who will be ready to operate diligently and pay taxes in order to benefit both sides.
On the one side is a corporation, but every time Mukesh would send me messages of deep frustration and anguish, I would bother Professor Kabudi with a message, and we would start to, a true diplomat he is, he will calm the water and bring everybody back to the same page.
The responsibility that you gave me, Honorable President, I owe you and Tanzanians good performances. All I am promising is to do justice to this position. I shall work day and night in resolving challenges that will fulfill demands of you, Honorable President, and Tanzanians at large. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate the rest of my colleagues that have been appointed together. I would like to assure you, Honorable President, before paying attention to my age and background, I am not scared of anything. I only depend on God. My responsibilities within the government began at the Ministry of Construction, then later on the Ministry of Finance, and now I am going to join TAMISEMI to gain more experience. I thank you, Honorable President.
President Magufuli also today with his wife Janet Magufuli visited the wife of the late father of the nation, Maria Nyerere, who is in the hospital undergoing treatment in Dar es Salaam.
Na Yesu mzao wa tumbo lako mbarikiwa, Maria mtakatifu mama wa Mungu, utuombee sisi wakosefu, sasa na saa ya kufa kwetu. Amina. Kama mwanzo na sasa na siku zote na milele. Amina.
With 3 days left before the government delivers the main budget, some members of parliament have urged the government to ensure that funds are set aside and approved. They are available and used to implement all projects promised to citizens from 2015 to 2020.
Wananchi wanatamani kuona matokeo ya yale mambo ambayo yameahidiwa na serikali ya awamu ya 5. I would like to say that the people want to see results emerge from the promises made by the fifth phase government. For instance, I would like to note that the subject of a lack of water is still a huge challenge in the country. It is a bit surprising, though, that the problem of water is still a huge one, even though there's a program designed to channel money into various projects which are set up to ensure the regular supply of clean and safe water. I would like to say that projects such as the Stigler's Gorge have eaten up a whole lot of money. Now, I am not denying the fact that the Stigler's Gorge project is a crucial one for our country. But then again, so is the provision of clean and safe water. Naturally, when the citizens get these diseases due to the lack of clean water, the government is forced to buy medicines from outside the country, which cost a lot of money. Therefore, I feel that an immense chunk of the budget should be directed towards the provision of clean and safe water.
And some MPs have also asked that this year's budget look into how to fix the tax system, as it causes people inability to fulfill their responsibilities, as some taxes are a problem.
It's that the coming main budget of the government will remove all those major inconveniences for the people so that they'll be able to contribute meaningfully to the national income. I hope that the main budget will create a conducive environment for business and trade in the country. This is because when business is blooming in the country, the economy benefits and grows as a. And I would like to add that when the economy is growing, more jobs are created too. I also expect that in the coming 2019-2020 main budget of the government, the salary of public sector workers will be increased. This is because when the government raises the salary of a public sector worker in a family, that worker does not just spend the money. In fact, he spends his salary on his children, his wife, and his mother, among others. So as I was trying to show you, a circular movement of the money in his family results all from the fact that his salary as a public sector worker has been increased.
The police force has been forced to use tear gas to disperse border and Bajaj drivers conducting their activities at Posta in Dar es Salaam after the city leadership directed them to move from the area due to not having permits, with the drivers strongly opposing the move.
This motorbike is mine. We have been used for maintaining security in town, but yet we are not respected for what we do. The police officers are harassing us and take away our bikes. The only way for me to get back my bike, I am supposed to pay the fine of 70,000 shillings, and in order for me to get my bike fast, I must tip off the police officer not less than 20,000. Is it fair? We have used our own efforts in combating theft in town. People are now walking freely without any worries because of us. We are all shocked by this move. The officers do not care about safety of its people. The only thing they value is collecting revenues. But we are aware that there are some motorbikes operating in town under the officers' protection because they give the officers bribe to allow them to carry on with their duties. This means that they don't capsize all motorbikes. These are obvious corruption practices by our own officers. who will defend these community officers from kivukoni. They use their own fuel to conduct patrols from 3 a.m. to 8 a.m. and they continue operations throughout the day.
Badala ya vurugu hizo za kuvamia akili kuna kutaka kushusha zile pikipiki ambazo zilikamatwa kwa nguvu.
The problem occurred after the motorbikes were collected in a truck and the bike's owners were protesting the move, where they kept on forcing to take their bikes back. When they were refusing orders given by the police officers, then the police officers had to use tear gas to disperse the protesters. However, 7 people were arrested from the incident. I would like to call on people to stay away from violence because our job is to protect people and their assets.
The Prevention and Combating of Corruption Bureau has taken to court 3 people, including 2 police officers, for asking for bribes from a businessman in Kariako called Ramadhani Hamisi Ntunswe.
While in the courtroom, the PCCB prosecutor Sophia Ngula read all of the charges on the charge sheet which have been leveled against the accused before the resident chief magistrate Huruma Shahidi. Prosecutor Sophia Ngula said that around October 2016 at Kimara Mwisho area in Kinondoni district, Dar es Salaam region, the 3 accused, Charity Ngalawa, a TRA deputy tax officer, Simon Benjamin Sungu, a police officer, and the 3rd accused, Ramadhani Uweza, asked for a 2 million shillings bribe from Mr. Ramadhani Hamisi Ntunswe, a Kariako businessman in Dar es Salaam. According to the PCCB prosecutor Sophia Ngula, the fact that the 3 accused asked for a bribe was against Section 15, Article 1 of Number 11 of the 2017 Prevention and Combating of Corruption Law. Prosecutor Sophia Ngula said that the request for a bribe was meant to persuade the businessman Ramadhani Ntunswe to leave his cargo with them because, according to the accused, they had found Mr. Ntunswe engaging in cheating on the products which he had. Despite that, the accused denied the charges that were leveled against him. The defense lawyer, Ambrose Mkwenda, requested the court to grant his client's bail on the grounds that bail is traditionally granted in the type of case which is currently facing the 3 accused. The 3 accused were able to successfully satisfy all the conditions in order to be granted bail. Each one of the defendants was supposed to bring a sponsor who had an identity card and who would sign a bond of 5 million shillings. The case has been adjourned to July 10th this year.
Tanzania Forestry Services in Kahama District, working with the Defense and Safety Committee, have detained a Scania lorry that was transporting a shipment of over 450 sacks of charcoal that were harvested and transported without a permit.
Illegal farm harvests is a major challenge in Kahama District. Of course, we cannot say ban charcoal uses completely because we have not reached the level of enough supply of its alternative substitutes of charcoal to all Tanzanians. But there are people who are sabotaging the decision made by the government. The accused has agreed to pay the fine of 23,200,000 and 5,000 from destruction made and costs using the seizure of the consignment, which is 206,000. I received information around 6 a.m. that my truck has been spotted at Natural Resources officers, believed to have been capsized by Natural Resources officers. That was when I came here and agreed to cooperate with the officers under legal terms for me to get my truck.
The Ministry of Health, Community Development, Gender, Elderly and Children, Umi Mwalimu, said that it recognizes the major challenges in the country in getting prosthetics and is thus pledged to ensure that people with disabilities need prosthetics are able to get them.
We announced that 500 people should apply, but so far the number has reached over 900 who have already been registered. Thus, from this exercise, 600 people have succeeded. With my belief that many people have not had access to this service in other regions. I would like to call on those who require these prosthetics. The government, through the Ministry of Health, will find ways on how to reach other people who registered for this support. I would like to emphasize that people who lost their organs either through accidents, especially users of boda boda transport, should not hesitate to come forward and look for this service.
Hafla fupi ya ufunguzi rasmi.
The exercise of giving these prosthetics to the needy has begun today and is ongoing for 40 days with the capacity of doing fittings to 15 people every day at the camp. We are aware that there is a large number of people that still needs this support. Then, after our fellow experts have gone, we ourselves will continue working on making these prosthetics and reach a lot more people. Thus, I can say this exercise will be ongoing.
Najisikia vizuri na nashukuru sana kwa hivi vifaa visaidizi vya kutufanya tuweze kutembea vizuri.
Kabla hapo hali ilikuwaje?
Kabla ya sijapata mguu bandia.
And that is all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, Nandi Governor Stephen Sang has been arrested as police investigate him over the destruction of Kibwari Tea Estate, which is said to be on a grabbed piece of land.
You must be able to show ownership.
You must be able to show ownership. Someone takes your farm and when you reclaim it, you are told that you've damaged property. I've had someone stating that the land belongs to the people, but the tea belongs to them. So how can you have your tea on someone else's land?
Who wants to bring an act of lawlessness?
DRC opposition leader Moise Katumbi Chapwe said that he was stopped by President Felix Tshisekedi's government when he wanted to visit Goma, Kivu, northeast of Congo today, where thousands of citizens were waiting for him at the Kandanda airport, where he was to speak for the first time since being exiled for the country 3 years ago.
They are stopping Mr. Katumbi from coming here. We cannot accept that. We've gone through wars to free our country, yet they've denied him permission to land in Goma. I think Kabila and Tshisekedi use the same tactics, but enough is enough. We will demonstrate against the government's decision. We are here to wait for our President Katumbi. This is to show Goma and all of Kivu that he is the one meant to be president.
And that is where we end with international news. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Welcome back, and in business news. The national annual inflation rate has risen to 3.5% for the month of May from 3.2% in the month of April, which has been attributed to the increase of prices of goods.
Goods for the year ending May 2019 is at 3.5, has been contributed by increase in commodities, food items and non-food items, compared to the price on goods for the year ending May 2018. Some of the goods that have contributed to the inflation is maize flour by 2.8%, meat by 4.7%, fish by 13.5%, fruits by 15.3%, potato by 21.7%, and cassava by 24.8%. Price inflation in Kenya for May 2019 has also decreased.
The National Microfinance Bank and NBPLC has begun to give out treasury bills that have short-term profits, as well as 10% interest that will be paid out every 3 years, with clients and non-clients benefiting from the investment, which starts from a 500,000 shilling stake.
Kwa sababu ni fursa pekee kabisa kwenye uwekezaji.
This is a special investment opportunity. This particular bond will run from today, June 10th to 8th July 2019. An investor will be able to invest from 800,000. You can clearly see that this is a good opportunity open to all different type of investors, earning 10% per annum in interest.
Ilikuwa ni ya miaka mitatu na inakwisha tarehe 10.
It was for 3 years and will end on 7th June 2016. This one starting was launched before this one's period expires. We were looking for 25 billion, but we managed to get 41 billion. Our expectation is the same with this new bond.
The government of Japan has said that it is ready to work with government organizations in the country in providing knowledge and education on various issues that will help the country make strides in implementation of the Tanzanian industrialization policy.
Kwa Convis na wamefanya kazi kubwa sana. Mpaka irrigation, kilimo.
They've done well in irrigation agriculture. All are welcome. Even you, the media, you can consult us and we shall speak with them. There are companies such as Hitachi, Fujitsu, etc. who can sponsor you for training.
Tunahitaji mabadiliko kwenye sehemu zetu za kazi.
We need transformation in our area of work so as to increase efficiency and have meaningful output and deliver on time. I'd hoped to have a lot more people today. What I suggest to the organizers is to prepare another seminar. In building expertise, we are going to set up sectorial councils as TPSF, which will be launched on 21st June, which will also be a national event. Without expertise, then we cannot attain an industrialized economy.
Hapa na mkae tayari kwamba kusambaza neno kwamba bila ujuzi hatuwezi kwenda kwenye uchumi wa viwanda ifikapo mwaka 2000.
That's all for business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him and he's being dragged through the second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters.
Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa has launched the secondary school sports competition UMISETA, which are nationally held in Mtwara region, and directed that sports in the country be effectively strengthened so as to raise the talents of youth.
Maandalizi ya michezo hiyo ya vyuo ikifanyika hapa nchini. Mheshimiwa Waziri huko hapa. Michezo ile ufanywe msoko. Mnaweza kuandaa. Nataka nione mwaka huu ukisafuta inachezwa nchini.
The national team Taifa Stars, which on Wednesday heads to Alexandria in Egypt for a friendly match with the country's national team, is part of preparations for the AFCON finals.
We hope to travel on the 12th to Alexandria, where the match is to take place on the 13th at 9:30 p.m. Training is ongoing to prepare the team and analyze our opponent's weaknesses and strengths. The team is strong and motivated. Each player is giving his best and is disciplined. So far, everything is on track.
The board overseeing the Premier League in the country has sent documents to all league clubs to ask for their opinions on changes to various principles, and also announced that the Premier League will begin on the second week of August.
Our focus is to start the new league the second week of August, which according to CUF timetable shows the beginning of preliminary Champion League, but if we cannot commence on the second week of August, then we will have to begin mid-August.
Host Portugal claimed their second trophy in 3 years by beating the Netherlands to win the inaugural Nations League.
Santos side triumphed at the 2016 European Championship, and Goncalo Guedes' second-half strike gave them a narrow victory in Porto, which Santos said was evidence of their unity as a team. For the last 5 years, we've been an almost indestructible family who know what we are capable of doing, he said. We knew we could win this match. The victory was achieved through Guedes, the Valencia winger, smashing in front of the edge of the area following Bernardo Silva's clever cutback, though Dutch goalkeeper Jasper Sileseni will be disappointed he did not keep the effort out.
Lewis Hamilton took his 5th victory in 7 races this year, and Mercedes' winning streak continued, but only after Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel, who won on the road, was handed a 5-second penalty for dangerous driving. Here's more.
The 4-time champion won on the road but was handed a 5-second penalty for rejoining the track dangerously and impeding Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton. Ferrari say they have appealed against the decision, even though the rules say that a 5-second penalty is a verdict against which the right of appeal doesn't exist. The Italian team have not yet clarified the grounds on their complaint. Vettel insisted he had done nothing wrong and had not deliberately hindered Hamilton as he rejoined the track after cutting across the grass at turns 3 and 4 of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve in Montreal. But race stewards handed the penalty to Vettel because they felt he continued to move across the track after regaining full control of his car. They felt he could instead have continued on the line that allowed Hamilton space. I believe video footage of movements of his steering and head suggested he had seen Hamilton and knew where he was.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night.